Mike Bohn here with the former UFC women's flyweight champion Valentina Shevchenko ahead of the debut of The Ultimate Fighter on Tuesday. Valentina, how are you? Are you ready for the season to start airing for the world to see? I know it's been a little while since you actually were on the show filming.
Yeah, finally, it's kind of like was super exciting, super exhausting time of filming. Almost 2 months. It's like constant work and like a lot of training, twice a day training for the guys. Even more like being on camera 24/7. Also, always like mic'd up, and it's kind of like it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of work what we did, and yeah, it's kind of like very exciting to see it from the other view, not the one what I have inside me. But yeah, it's the day's tomorrow.
Yeah, finally. When you went through that process, I guess when they first came to you with the idea of wanting to do this, I know you and Alexa were both recovering from injuries as well. So did the timing on that side of it like work out where you're like, hey, like I'm still kind of dealing with things. The fight's not going to be for a while anyways. This seems like a good idea.
No, I think yes, it's the time wise it was just kind of like perfect. The only thing that on the moment when I was UC contacted me and like with offering to coach the Ultimate Fighter, we were in Thailand, and it's kind of like we went on a road trip, the same what we are doing all the time, and just like driving all the tiny villages in Thailand, practicing my Thai language, and just exploring the culture and everything. So it's like, okay, now it's a little bit challenging to make the process getting back to Phuket, like getting ready for the filming and how it's everything like in the side of like managing time. So it was the most challenging process.
Yeah, and I guess when you were kind of getting prepared for it and thinking of how you wanted to coach people and your approach to things, what were kind of some of the things that went through your mind on how you wanted to deal with like a team of, these fighters who are trying to get to, accomplish half the things you have in your career. Before you even started filming, were you kind of thinking of what kind of coach you wanted to be?
Oh, it was like all these things. It's definitely it's kind of like you can think you can kind of like working on the what you wanna give to your team, but in the end, before you get to know your team, you actually cannot much think about how to approach for the coaching process. And it was some funny things. For example, um, before the very first filming, it's kind of like it's the very first, and you don't know what to expect, and like all these things to meet the team, to meet all fighters was very exciting. And in the middle of the night, I woke up, and we literally like flew from Thailand, and after like flew from Thailand, and I had 1 day for acclimatization, and the next day the filming will start. So I kind of like didn't have time at all. And in the middle of the night, I woke up, and it's kind of like I said, okay, I have to have something special for my team. I didn't know yet who's going to be in my team, who's the fighters, and like it has to be something special. It has to be something that it's going to unite all of us. And I was like, what it can be, what it can be, what can represent my spirit, my character as a coach. So the bullet, yes, of course, it has to be the bullet. And now it's kind of like I woke up 6 in the morning, 6 a.m., and like where I can get bullets. And first it was like I have for a long time, it's not this one, but for the long time I have necklace in like a bullet necklace. And I was
Mhm.
like, okay, it has to be keychain, it has to be necklace, but 6 a.m. where you can find it. And I start to like calling everyone who knows where I can find it, and it's like no way, and it's kind of like not happening. And then I said like um I I I share my idea with my coach, with Pavel, and he said like we probably can make our own bullets. Like I mean, like these 762 bullets when you are kind of like um take it apart, take the powder out, and you have not the cartridge, you have the bullet. And it's kind of like, now we have to find the person who will do it. And it's like 6 a.m. There is no one available. So luckily, like with all experience what Pavel has from the military, his military experience, like he was able be our own gunsmith, take the bullet apart, take powder out, and he like prepares this little bullet for my team.
That's very cool. So you guys were Team Bullet.
Yes, it's kind of like Team Shevchenko equal Team Bullet.
Yeah, that's very cool. And I know there's only like so much you can say without, before the show actually airs. But, going in there, you have, a roster all full of male fighters, right? And I know sometimes there can be a lot of egos in the sport from certain people and things like that. Was any part of you concerned about like how the coaching process would go, not knowing some of the personalities you were going to have to walk in and deal with?
Oh yes, definitely. It's always, you don't know who's gonna be there and what kind of personality. But I can say exactly that all 16 fighters, they were amazing. They was like truly martial artists. And it's kind of like the age range, it's from 21 to 33 years. Like some of them very young, 21, 23 years old. And kind of like for them, it was a lot of pressure as well, because first of all, almost 2 months they was living with no cell phones, no music, no books, no interaction with the world. They was not allowed to go outside. And imagine a young man who kind of like born already with the phone in the hands, and it's kind of like now he has to live without it. They don't know how to speak to each other without phones, and now they have to live and train in different. So it was kind of like different experience for them. And my team, we gave like trainings like the same kind of like Shaolin. First of all, like production, taking away all this like distraction things, like no interaction with the world. From other side, our trainings, it was like very hard trainings, focusing not only for example like only this period of time, but also the trainings who's gonna serve them for the future, the base what they have right now, but also like adding knowledge, adding experience, adding like more weapons to their game. It's kind of like, yes, it's kind of 16 people, not everyone got result what they wanted. There was losses, there was winning, so there was like everything. But I can say exactly like in my team, their training what they had during all these 2 months, it's gonna they have so much potential. And if it's like not this time, but they're gonna be in UFC, and they're gonna be in the very like top level in the future, because it's gonna serve them for the future.
That's exciting. And I know, a lot of the show is about the fighters and you guys helping them, but a dynamic as well as, building a fight between the coaches, you and Alexa, and like having you two interact with each other. How would you, I guess, describe your relationship with Alexa going into the show versus coming out of it? Would you guys say you're closer now, on worse terms? Is there more friction between you two? How would you describe things now?
Oh no, yeah, kind of like my personality of a person. I'm not an aggressive person, and I'm in martial arts for so long time, and martial arts teach me so many things. And I don't have anything like against Alexa. She's doing what she's doing, and yeah, definitely results what it was kind of like. No, okay, first fight what we have, whatever result was result. The second fight a draw, but in my opinion, I don't know, like she was gifted by this like decision, what I don't know what reason this judge like did, like whatever, but I don't have anything against her. It's number one. And actually she's doing the same kind of like she has the passion for the martial arts. And actually we went alone together very good, and kind of like we sharing like the same things in common, the view for the martial arts. And I think our relationship now, it's kind of like good.
That's good. Yeah, I mean, you're obviously both great sportswomen, and have the right attitude toward the sport and everything. And if you look, obviously, with the debut episode airing on Tuesday, and it goes the 12 weeks, that kind of leads us right into September with this big show at the Sphere, UFC 306. Dana White saying it's going to be the greatest combat sports event in the history of the world, pretty much. Is it your expectation that the show finishes airing in September? You guys have your trilogy fight in September at the Sphere?
I don't know yet, because I'm waiting the like final word from the UFC, what they are thinking, what they are wanting to do with the fight. But kind of like I'm ready to fight, no matter where, no matter when and how. I fought like last fight all 5 rounds with a broken hand, so it's kind of like, for me, it's no matter what. I'm martial artist. I do it not for the fame. I do it for the not for the like something else. It's because I have this passion and love for martial arts. That's why I keep doing it, no matter what.
Yeah. Given all that, is it being hard for you to not fight in what will probably be like a year or more by the time you actually get in there?
It's kind of like I keep myself in a shape all the time. I'm not even, for example, after we was done with the filming for the Ultimate Fighter, and it was so much pressure on everyone that I felt like, okay, before I start my training camp, I have to go and like refresh a little bit. So we did like trips. We did trip to Alaska, we did trip to Bermuda. We went, for example, in between, I trained in Washington State. We went to Colorado, I trained with Rose. I come to New York. I trained with my training partner for the long time, Richie. He has a gym here. And kind of like every time keeping myself busy better, and not wasting my time just to sit and think, oh my god, when is the next fight? I'm so boring, I don't know what to do with my life if I'm not fighting. No, it's kind of like wasting time. We have the perfect opportunity to when we are, for example, have some free time, to do something with our life. For example, people wanted to achieve some goals, and they could not do it because like limit of time or something like that. Learn something new or experience something new. And so when you have time, why you don't do it? Why you just sit there and thinking about, oh my god, I have to sit here? No, just do it. Yes, it's hard. Yes, it will take time. Yes, you have to spend like a lot of thoughts about it, but this is life. This is why it's so interesting. And I cannot say that it was hard in this way for me, because I didn't break my training schedule. I keep training all the time, but also I did something very interesting. I explored new land in the world, and it kind of like I could see something that I didn't see before.
Yeah, and I know you said that was a great answer. And when I asked about the relationship between you and Alexa, I know you said things are good. But given how I think pretty much any MMA fan who knows the sport truly thinks you got screwed with the decision in the last fight, does any part of you get bothered seeing her walk around with that belt when you feel it should be yours?
Of course, it feels upset, and I understand the feeling when, for example, a person don't have potential, when a fighter like just cannot do it, and understand that other opponent is stronger, other opponent is better. But when you are kind of like you are better, you were stronger, and you see back the fight, and like, yes, obviously it's the wrong decision, and this is what the most upset. But to sit and focus, oh my god, it's upset, something like that. I don't want to do that, because I prefer that all these wrong things, it's gonna be on the conscience of the person who did it, not on my side. I would not put this on myself, that's gonna bring me down. I just focus on the positive things, and I know I will have another opportunity, and I will do even better than I did it.
Yeah. Does any part of you at all, like if they do offer you the fight officially for the Sphere in September, Mexican Independence Day, again, it's like a repeat of what happened last time in a lot of ways. I know a different venue. Is
As
any part of you
my
reluctant?
as my understanding, it's there is a like talk about Sphere, but it is not Mexican Independence Day, because it's gonna be focused on the Sphere. It's gonna be focusing on UFC 306. So it's kind of like even Mexican Independence Day, it's gonna be few days before the event happening. So it's nothing related to Mexican Independence Day. It's going to be completely different event, completely different location, and completely different day of the closed but different. But this superstitious, I think they are not good for the fighters. Fighter has to be ready, no matter what, no matter how. And if a fighter gonna put in the head these things, it's gonna slowly destroy them. But it's kind of like how strong your mentality, how much you can get rid of that. And if you can rid of that, you're gonna be successful no matter what, no matter how. And I fought so many times in the territory of my opponents. So it's kind of like show me that there is nothing that you cannot do. Everything in your hands, and you just have to prepare good and do whatever you have to do for the victory.
Yeah, for sure. And just a couple last things here, Valentina, before I let you go. You've had a lot of time to think about that last fight and think about the next time you'll fight Alexa. What do you need to do in the third fight to make sure, we don't even get a situation where it could be scored a draw and you win it very definitively? What do you think you have to do in the fight?
The last fight shows that I was stronger, I was faster, and she had like just like few moments that kind of like was in her favor, something like that. But just focusing on my performance and do even be more faster, even be more stronger. And yeah, definitely it's kind of like things that you don't want to leave the decision for the judge. And I have all the reason why to not leave for the judge, because I don't want someone because of like some personal things to risk the professionalism side and put like the personal things on top. So I don't want it happen, and definitely I will more focus on the finish. So yeah, for me it's kind of like no matter what kind of finish, no matter it has to be striking or has to be submission, so it has to be done, and probably more focusing on that things.
For sure. And what do you guys do fight? Who do you think will be in line for the winner? Manon Fiorot's doing a lot of great things, hasn't lost in the UFC. We have Macy Barber and Rose fighting in a main event coming up this summer. All fresh opponents for you, which I imagine is nice to think about after doing 3 straight fights against Alexa. Who do you think, whenever you guys fight and this division shakes out, will be that next contender?
Right now, at this moment, after fight Manon and Erin, I think Manon, she's on this kind of like list. So, but how you are saying, like anything can happen for this time. It's still, we have more time, like 3 months, a little bit more after we rest a little bit. So anything can happen. But at this moment, I would say fight Manon and Erin brought Manon on this position.
Yeah, and if you beat Alexa, we're not doing a fourth fight though, right? In a row, we got to move on to something else.
We move on. We
Okay.
move on to fill out the another, like to have the second chance to fill out the all the 8 rubies.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Valentina, I really appreciate it. Everyone watching this, make sure you tune in to the debut episode of The Ultimate Fighter, Tuesday night, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. It'll be airing every single week, and we look forward to seeing how everything unfolds on the show. Thank you so much for the time, Valentina, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you, Mike. Have a good day.